For the last few days, we've been road tripping down Minnesota's North Shore, starting at the US-Canada border. We've seen waterfalls, beautiful cliffs, powerful waves, and gorgeous views, explored cute towns, learned history, and enjoyed some delicious food.
For our final Minnesota adventure, we've headed down to Duluth, which is a port city on the shore of Lake Superior. And today we're going to spend the day exploring and eating around the city. Good morning from Duluth. As you can see, the weather is not as lovely as we had hoped it to be, but we are still going to do our best to experience the city.
And first up, we're at Canal Park, which is one of the most popular areas to explore in Duluth. And being a port city, Duluth has a lot of shipping history. Beginning in the 1800s, the port of Duluth Superior made its mark as a mid-continent transportation hub. Among its earliest cargoes were lumber, bulk grain, coal, iron ore, and walking cargo as immigrants, businessmen, and tourists arrive on passenger ships.
In 1871, the Duluth Ship Canal opened, and soon commercial shipping vessels transited the canal carrying goods to and from distant ports. Canal Park is home to the Lake Superior Maritime Visitor Center, the 1905 Corps of Engineers building, shops, restaurants, an aquarium, all kinds of other attractions, and Duluth's iconic aerial lift bridge from the early 1900s, which raises when ships are coming into the harbor basin from Lake Superior.
We hear it's a really fun experience to get to see them lift the bridge and watch a boat go underneath it. And they have a schedule online that tells you the times that boats are coming through, as well as what type of boat it is, what year it is, and some other information. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like any boats will be coming underneath the bridge while we're here today. We did just read, though, that this aerial lift bridge lifts an average of 4,500 times per year.
One perfect thing Duluth has on a rainy day like today is the free Lake Superior Maritime Museum, which shares the maritime history of the lake and the important role Duluth Harbor played in the early American steel industry, as well as Midwestern cargo transport across the globe. We just got done in the Maritime Museum, and it is crazy that that thing is totally free because there is so much to see in there. One of the coolest things I thought was the history behind the aerial lift bridge. When it first opened, there wasn't a roadway that took you across. There was a gondola that basically hung from the truss or the support system from above, and you paid a nickel to go across. So you could walk onto it, you could drive onto it. They would take horses, supplies, all kinds of stuff. I thought that was really neat.
There were so many different ship engines to check out and models of different types of ships, and also a lot of information about the Great Lakes and just the shipping industry throughout the Great Lakes over time. And there were a few examples of different types of cabins on the ships, and Adam even got to steer the ship. That's probably not the correct term, but
ahoy!
So our lunch spot doesn't open till 3 today, so I guess that's gonna be a dinner for us. So we're doing dessert first. We just came to an ice cream shop in Duluth called Love Creamery, which we have been so excited to visit. This place has really unique flavors, and we got one of our favorite things to get at an ice cream shop, an ice cream flight, and it's dripping so fast, so I'll make this very, very quick. But we got salted caramel, maple walnut, goat cheese and brandied cherry, key lime pie, monster cookie, and North Shore crumble, which is kind of like the pie we had yesterday in ice cream form. Oh, that is the perfect level of saltiness. Probably the best salted caramel I've ever had. It's sweet but salty, but oh,
I was really excited with this one. Goat cheese and brandy. Oh my gosh, it's melting so fast. That is super creamy. You can taste the nice pop of the tart cherries in there. Oh man, this is dripping so much. That is really good. These are so creamy and so sweet. Again, refreshing. Oh man, right, the aftertaste, you really taste the walnut in that one.
This is a disaster. So this is the key lime pie, and a good chunk of their flavors are actually gluten-free, including the key lime pie one, which has chunks of pie crust in it. Oh wow, that pie crust is perfect. It was a huge chunk. It just gives it such a good crunchy texture, and then the key lime literally just tastes like key lime pie in ice cream form.
I thought since it's not as hot today that it wouldn't melt as fast, but maybe it's the humidity or something, but it's really melting real quick.
So we're sorry if we seem super frantic.
Yeah.
We're like racing to eat this before it melts all
Trying
over
to
the table.
race to eat it and vlog it and tell you all about it, but it's hard to do all at the same time.
And this one is the North Shore crumble, which has pieces of pie from a place called Rustic Inn, which is really close to Betty's Pie that we went to yesterday. And I've actually heard that it has better pie than Betty's Pie. So now we can say we've tried them both. Ooh. It says a cardamom ice cream, and I totally taste the spice in there. And then I got a little bit of a crunch, I think, of a berry. Time for you to try the last flavor before we drink this.
Yeah, monster cookie, here we go. I think it's a cookie blended up in there, and it has M&Ms in it. That's really chocolatey. I might like this monster cookie one the best. It's very chocolatey and cookie-y. There's lots of bits in there too.
I know we seem super panicked, but this is truly delicious ice cream. So creamy, so high quality. It's small batch ice cream. Their flavors are always changing. They serve the flight to us in this cute little like egg carton. It's just a really cute place on the inside. We might have to grab a pint. This place is so good. It's one of those places where we leave and we're like, we need to get a pint of this so we can enjoy it later on too. We know we're a bit of a broken record comparing Minnesota to the Pacific Northwest, but this is the last thing we'll say about it, we promise. But we're kind of getting Seattle vibes from Duluth. More like what we envisioned Seattle was like years ago before it became this huge tech city with all the tall buildings. But they're both port cities, so they're both on the water. They both have some more industrial areas. Some of the buildings downtown kind of reminded us of Pioneer Square. There are these beautiful hills behind Duluth, and same with Seattle, with houses kind of just like nestled in them. And the weather today is very, very Seattle-like.
We've headed southwest of Canal Park to Enger Tower, an 80-foot, 5-story stone observation tower in Enger Park, which is a park with trails, a Japanese garden, and views of the city. The park and tower are named after Bert Enger, a furniture dealer who willed 2/3 of his estate to the city of Duluth for the development of a lookout tower and beautified grounds for tourists to enjoy.
And fun fact, this tower has been visited by royalty 2 times, the first time being in June 1939 when Crown Prince Olav and Princess Martha of Norway arrived in the park to formally dedicate Enger Tower in memory of Bert Enger.
It is starting to clear up, but we have about 60% confidence that we'll see any views.
We were thankfully mostly wrong, and you can see some views, and we're not even to the top yet, but every floor that you go up, the views get better and better.
We thought it was getting clear, but we were just kidding. The fog rolled right back in. This park is really beautiful, and in the park they have this Japanese garden, and there's this bell, and the story behind it is really cool. So during World War II, the Japanese government instructed cities to melt down iron ore for ammunition, and this Buddhist temple in this town dismantled their bell tower, but by the end of the war they hadn't melted down the bell, and so the USS Duluth visited this city after the war, brought that bell to Duluth and gave it to the city as a gift. And then in the 1950s, the bell was given back to that city. And then I think it said in 1993, that Japanese city gifted a replica of that bell to the city of Duluth. And it's this one here. And you're allowed to ring the bell. Cover your ears. Oh. Cool. Our last stop in Duluth, we came to OMC Smokehouse, which stands for Oink, Moo, and Cluck. We've been really excited about this place for a long time. It's more of a sit-down restaurant style barbecue place, and they start you off with their house-made chicharrones with a light dusting of their pork rub.
They also give you 4 of their sauces to try, and despite what this looks like, this is not ketchup and mustard. This is their honey barbecue sauce. This is their bent paddle 14 degrees ESB barbecue, which is more of a mustard base. This is a chipotle cilantro barbecue sauce, and this is Alabama white, which has a little bit of a horseradish kick to it.
Chicharrones are my go-to road trip snack. These are really good too. They taste really fresh. They're really crunchy, a little bit of a chew to them. Don't drop it.
They're so crunchy. They're so good.
Check out this spread. We got a feast. It's the only way to do it at a barbecue place. All right, first off, we got a half rack of St. Louis style ribs. Upgraded one of our sides to the beef fat fries. These are cheesy jalapeno grits. Threw in a little extra side of pulled pork there. This is a brisket plate, and we asked for it from the fatty end of the brisket. This is elotes, and then this is a candied sweet potato bake. All right, we gotta start with the brisket because brisket is king. Oh man, look how soft and tender that is. That just pulls right apart. I don't like comparing barbecue places to places in Texas, especially when they don't claim they're a Texas barbecue. But this is done right. This would hang down there. This is super good. The fat is nice and rendered. The meat is so tender and just pulls right apart. Oh my goodness. That looks beautiful.
Oh my gosh, it fell off the bone.
That is a perfect rib. You can just see how easily that pulls apart, but it does have a little bit of pull to it. Oh, and the smoky flavor with the smoke you can taste in there. And then you can taste the little dry spice rub on here.
It's finally my turn to get to try something. I had to like pry this away from Adam, and I'm trying the pulled pork. I don't know if it has sauce on it or if it's just really juicy, but it's very, very juicy, super tender, amazing flavor. And these bad boys are fried in beef fat. Super fluffy on the inside.
Super juicy sweet corn, a little bit of spice from the jalapeno, the cilantro, and then the sauce in there gives it a nice little tang. And then there's little bits of, I think it's cotija cheese. Oh. That tastes like a dessert. That is so sweet. And then you have the brown sugar on top with the pecans. And then I think that's powdered sugar, the white there. Oh, but the potato is so fluffy and it's like salty and sweet. More sweet, but a little bit of salt. This is really good.
We have one item left. This is probably the most food we've ever tried on camera at once, but this is the cheesy jalapeno grits. I've recently learned I like grits. I didn't think I liked them, but I do. Oh, it's so cheesy. It has a little bit of a kick, and that's just the flavor of jalapeno. The texture is really nice. All right, it's time for us to enjoy this without the camera. It's gonna get ugly. You don't wanna see this.
Coming from Texas and having lots of good barbecue before, we were really nervous this place wouldn't stack up to our high expectations, but this place would hold its own in Texas. It was delicious. We are full and happy.
Every single item was so good.
Yeah.
And you guys, look what's behind us.
Oh my gosh, what is that?
Love Creamery. So there's actually a location of Love Creamery across from OMC Smokehouse. We went to their Canal Park location, so this is a different one, but the one we went to didn't have pints for sale that we know of, so we're gonna pop in and get a pint because we want more.
Oops.
For later, because we're really, really full. Unfortunately, that's the end of our time here in Minnesota. We know there are a ton of places we missed, so we will definitely be back. We're unfortunately just kind of on a time crunch the rest of the year. We have so many places we want to see, so we just kind of keep moving.
Keep the train rolling. But next up, we're gonna head to Wisconsin for a few fun and cheesy adventures. Bada bing. Yeah, that's what I was going for. Maritime Museum, and it's pretty crazy that
It wasn't bird poop, right?
No, it was the water falls off of here. Is that how you drive a ship? I don't know.
Jen, Elliot, did we do it
Yeah, you
right?
have to let us know. Here's a teaser for later.
Yeah, I was
Sound like a snore.
the oink wasn't the best.
Yeah.